Today I'm talking about Shazam. And Shazam looks like the only good thing coming out the DCEU. I know you guys are like, but Blade, did you talk about Aquaman? Yeah, I did talk about Aquaman. But I do think the movie has more potential than Aquaman. Let me explain. Shazam is a really light character. He's a really fun and just a fun character to be with. And a fun character I think they can really have with this film. They've messed up with Superman and everyone else they have. But I do think with Shazam, they can't mess up. Okay, I'm wrong. They can mess up horribly. Really, really badly. But it's really hard to mess up. Same thing with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a character who was really easy to go with, and it's really hard to mess her up. Same thing I think with Shazam. They're really basic characters. They didn't make them as complex as they wanted to make Superman or their Batman. So I do think Shazam will be a really good and fun film. I don't think it'll be anything as good or amazing, but just alright, or maybe just at least good enough for the DCEU to be like, alright, we're doing a little bit better, you know? I've lost hope for the DCEU. I don't think the DCEU would get any better. Personally, I just say reboot it all. They've messed up their scheduling for me. I think everything's been pretty dumb for the first start. And after Justice League, I've just kind of called it quits. I don't really care anymore. But I think Shazam will be a fun ride. I don't think all movies will be good. I don't think Shazam will bring back to life to any of these movies. But I do think Shazam will be a standalone good movie. And I think this is why they're focusing more on characters by themselves as standalones. Because Justice League failed because we didn't know any of these characters. So I think if they keep focusing on characters by themselves, they can do really better with a team-up movie. And this is why I think Shazam will be really good at making the movies more, how do I say, well-known or more mainstream better. That's a weird word to saying, but let me explain. I think Shazam will bring back to life to the DCEU. Justice League failed because the movie lost. Everyone lost hope after Justice League. Everyone lost hope after they stopped caring. Justice League was a financial failure because everyone stopped caring. I think Shazam is going to be a good movie because it's going to bring life back to the DCEU. People are going to start caring because, you know, the movies are going to be a little more silly, a little more goofy. And I do think this movie looks really good. And like I said, hard to mess up. And if they do mess up, they still got Aquaman. But like I said about Aquaman, it has a lot of potential. But I do think they can mess up a lot with this potential. They can really mess up with that movie. So I think Shazam is an easier thing to work with. It's an easier character. And that's why I think Shazam will be really good, like I said. I want to pop this part in, is that this interpretation of the Shazam is taken from the New 52 Shazam, which I've read some of it, and it's actually really good. And it's a really good story that focuses just on Shazam. I do know the villain isn't Black Adam, which, to be honest, I can wait for it. But Black Adam was going to be played by The Rock for rumors that was like years ago, which would be really cool. But New 52 Shazam, it's really good, and it brings life to Shazam. His name used to be Captain Marvel, I just wanted to mention, if you guys didn't know that. But they changed it to Shazam since there's another Captain Marvel coming out soon. So they just changed the thing he says, which is just Shazam. Shazam, I keep pronouncing that wrongly. But New 52 Shazam, it's really good, and it's really hard to fail. The villain does look somewhat interesting. He's going to be pretty bland. I'm pretty sure the DCEU doesn't have that great, well-known of villains. They have a varied cast of villains, but they constantly fail with it. Which, honestly, I don't think Shazam's going to have an interesting villain. It kind of makes sense. They're more focusing on Shazam. So I'll allow that. Same thing what I said with Venom. I'll allow it, because focusing on Shazam instead of his villain. Which I kind of feel like they should have both. But, like I was saying, New 52 Shazam did a lot for Shazam. And it brought more life, because I've had a friend who read it and said himself, he got him back into reading more Shazam comic books. So I really do think this movie will make Shazam a household name, because, you know, like I said, well, I didn't say it yet, but I'll go to it right now. Why I think Shazam will be a really good movie is because the main character is a little boy. Or, well, I think it will attract more kids to the movies. The DCEU has not always been a really kid-friendly series, especially for superheroes. Most superheroes have killed and murdered people and have been really broody and angsty and have questioned their own morals. Shazam's just a kid who wants to help and have fun. So I think that's really easy to do. And there's nothing really complicated to it. That's why they tried to make Superman complicated and they failed with it horribly. Shazam is just going to be a kid that just wants to have fun. This is why I think it will attract more kids and attract more people back to the DCEU and bring more life to the movies. I think Shazam will be basically DC's new Superman. Because Henry Cavill might leave, So we don't know, but if Henry Cavill does leave, this might be their new face for Superman, besides Michael B. Jordan, which, if he's Superman, I don't really care, you know. But I do think Shazam, it's really hard to fail with. And the reason why is because it will add more, I think, more light to the world. Because the world, the DCEU world, we're still being expanded upon. We still don't know that much about it, which is the sad thing about it. We've had at least 6 movies, and we barely know anything about the world still. We still don't know anything about Batman's backstory, about how most of his villains. We don't know anything about some of those characters like that, which I do find really disappointing, and frankly, pretty sad for a movie that's had 6 movies. So I do think Shazam will bring more light to the world and you know, show more people. Because all the DCU we know is that people have been killed and all mournful and sad and dark, but I think Shazam will show a brighter side of the world. You know, will show all the good in the world besides everyone just being broody and angsty. Because everything we've seen in the DCEU, everyone's been broody, angsty, dark. And I think Shazam is going to be a light movie. This is why I think the movie will be really easy to do. It's lighthearted. So, like I said, Shazam's going to be a lighthearted movie that will bring more love to the DCEU. It might be just one good movie, or it might be multiple good movies. This might be like, it might be, you know, after this movie, maybe all the other movies will be good. Or maybe this movie will just be good. Everything else will just suck and be dark and edgy, or will try to repeat Shazam's tone. Like what Justice League did. It failed horribly. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do think Shazam's gonna be really good. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.